Full of men, so I do consider myself very fortunate that I've been able to kind of dodge stereotypical roles for females.
So he was talking about how short the skirts are in Star Trek, and it's so funny. Like I can't even imagine being I can't imagine being a chick in general, but especially on the set of Trek.
I do feel like I exercised my xenolinguistic skills a lot because there were a lot of long words that I had to say.
I like a Clabnian fire tea. The ship has let me do it again.
From a gal from Queens, it's just it was very hard.
Yeah, they're rolling my.
I just thought it was beautiful to kind of reprise a role, and I took it as an honor and a huge responsibility that JJ always allowed me to kind of relax on because I was so tense about it. I really wanted to do it justice because Nichelle Nichols was just amazing. I was very nervous to meet her because she's such a pioneer for what she's done for women in Hollywood. I remember feeling my heart pounding because I just didn't know what she was going to expect of me or demand of me. And it was completely the opposite. She was just so happy and honored. I'm like, ma'am, this is such an honor to meet you. Like, this is amazing what you did, the doors that you opened. And people like me walked right through it, and now I'm able to say that I am a part of you.
This is a fun experience for you.
Fun is too small a word. It's eerie and exciting. I've just been sitting there all that time talking to myself. Zoe Saldana, beautiful child.
The ex-wife took the whole damn planet in the divorce. All I got left is my bones.
Carl Urban came in. He just was Bones. In his audition, it was uncanny.
When you actually see the close-ups, you see the similarity with McCoy.
God, man.
It's amazing. And that's a tricky character because that's one of the funnier characters, and it's one of the ones that has the most danger of slipping into parody.
Are you insane?
He just brought Bones to life in a way that was this craggy, angry, sardonic, bitter, pissed-off doctor, but you love him.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
I'm a long-time fan of the show. I watched it when I was a kid. When I heard they were making a new film, I was very, very interested to be a part of it. I actively went about setting meetings with people involved in the project. I think everybody was just as excited as I was, especially my son. We had been watching the box sets, so he was really thrilled.
I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer.
His Bones is spot on.
Damn it, man, I'm a doctor, not a physicist.
I just wanted to really give a big nod to everything that DeForest had done in the past.
Jim, you can't risk your life on a theory.
While I did not want to become some sort of carbon copy, I wanted to try and capture the very essence of what Bones was.
Congratulations, Jim. Now we've got no captain and no damn first officer to replace him.
Carl Urban is apparently incapable of taking a bad photograph.
But then on top of that, he's this really quirky, really funny, really good actor.
Like the old Space Invaders.
He's a great guy. The first day that we worked together, there was a chemistry there that hopefully we'll get to explore in the other movies. How long is it supposed to?
Unbelievable.
John Cho, turns out, had actually been in Felicity, a TV show that I did years ago, had a small role, but he's someone who, obviously, I got to know from the Harold and Kumar movies, and he's a very funny guy. Look at this. It's John Cho.
This was primarily just the chance to kind of live a childhood fantasy of mine, being on the Enterprise and shooting phasers and whatnot. So, when I heard about it, I was just really eager to get involved.
I'm Hikaru Sulu.
And you are a pilot, right?
We've obviously been fans for a long time, and he couldn't look less like George Takei.
At first, I was concerned because he's of Korean descent, and I thought, well, Sulu was of Japanese descent, and I didn't want to cause some kind of uproar in the Trekker community.
Bridge to all decks. Condition alert.
It was such an exemplary role on an exemplary show. There were very few Asians on television that weren't doing accents and martial arts and chop suey and stuff. And George Takei on Star Trek was a really pioneering image for me.
Maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines at your command, sir.
So I called George and I asked him, and he gave me this amazing speech about how when Gene Roddenberry created this role, how this was not supposed to be a Japanese character. He had this whole sort of Pan-Asian, philosophy about what this character represented and what Sulu meant, and he had, and it was like this great, like, basically, I'm like, so yes, I can hire him?
3, 2, 1, go. Cool. And I think you saw my direction there, Phil?
John Joe, I've had an incredible amount of fun with John. The great thing about John is we laugh a lot. No one else seems to laugh at any of our jokes or find us all that funny, but we have an incredible amount of fun together.
Yeah, I'm ready. No problem. I've got a tight red shirt on. I'm ready to do the stunt.
I think it'll be great for people to get to see a whole new side of him with, he's got some awesome fight sequences. So what kind of combat training do you have?
Fencing.
Russian whiz kid, what's your name? Chanko? Cherpov?
Ensign Chekhov, Pavel Andreevich, sir.
Fine. Chekhov, Pavel Andreevich. Begin shipwide mission broadcast.
Yes, sir.
Anton Yelchin, who was born in Russia, had until very recently never returned, but he speaks fluent Russian because his parents do. He is the only guy who could have played this part.
We should be arriving at Vulcan within 2 minutes. Thank you very much for your time. What I loved about Chekhov is that he's so weird. Like, he's to me, is the weirdest member of the crew. Move, 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 move! I can do that, I can do that! There's an episode where they go to a planet, it's called the Apple. Everyone's doing work, and Chekhov spends pretty much the entire episode macking on his girlfriend.
Chekhov, as you may or may not know from the original series, was based on Davy Jones from the Monkees. So the idea was that he was kind of a little young Beatle, and that he was one of the youngest, kind of the prodigy of the ship.
The ship's exhaust wake. If we adjust our shield frequencies, we should not be detected.
Wait a minute, kid. How old are you?
17, sir.
Anton's a wunderkind. Frankly, I feel he may be superhuman. He's 18. To be so young and to possess such an awareness of humanity and psychology is a very, very bright kid.
He knows every fact about every subject. He speaks, I don't know how many languages this kid speaks, but he's a genius.
Anton and myself and Bruce Greenwood, who plays Captain Pike, had this chess tournament, and Anton's a little chess genius. I mean, he whipped us both, hands down. Just some of the funniest times I remember was watching Anton beat Bruce, and it's just like, F
Next.
Anton genuinely is Russian, although he doesn't actually speak with an accent. He can speak perfectly fine. But his accent was so
perfect. They're creating a singularity that will consume the planet.
Obviously, he's able to do the accent flawlessly, but had a real issue with the W's.
I verify, sir. It's out there.
And he's like, well, that's not really what, how Russian would, but he ended up doing it because it was so classic.
Ensign authorization code 95 Victor 2. Walter said, in order to make this something successful, in order to make it something great, you have to do your own thing. The fun thing for me was to take what he brought to it, but also finding that balance between where is Chekhov's accent and where is a real Russian accent. Our mission is to assess the condition of Vulcan and assist in evacuations if necessary. We should be arriving at Vulcan within 3 minutes. Thank you for your time.
You are Montgomery Scott.
Hi, that's me. You're in the right place. Unless there's another hard-working, equally starving Starfleet officer around.
Me.
Get it! Shut up!
In trying to cast Scotty, the key was the balance of the cast, finding someone in there who could make you laugh.
Are you a member of Starfleet?
Yes. Can I have a towel?
We first saw Simon Pegg and Shaun of the Dead, and he ended up being in Mission Impossible 3.
Can I keep it together?